Right, so I was happy to see some progress on the head this week, but we have quite a bit that we need to sculpt on here yet. Also, when you're turning in everything, don't forget to turn in your reference, because I have several students to keep track of, so I can't always, remember what you're using 3D wise. I know your reference was in here for what character you were doing, so I know kind of where we're trying to take it. I found this one, and it's actually there's a speed sculpt attached to it. So I'll throw you this link so you can kind of see someone else sculpt through and do something that has an anime type style to it. Um, I would also say I would just keep symmetry on for now, even though we'll have one eye covered. Um, it'll just help you to make sure everything stays symmetrical. So if you want to get the eye back over here, if you go to geometry, we can, under modify topology, mirror and weld, because we're using Dynamesh, and we'll get our symmetry back. So if we look through here, I'd say a lot of what you kind of need yet is structure and anatomy underneath, and kind of refining areas as we go. So I want to see you using more Damian standard to define certain areas. So the fold of the nose, let's say, we can start bringing that crease out. You can see where the nostril's going to subtly kind of cut through there. So really, I didn't do much more than you had here, but just that one crease, allowed me to bring more out with the nose. Watch for these planes, because you can see how they're kind of defining things between where the nostril's going to be, and then we could use trim dynamic to kind of get a nice plane and upturn that nose a little bit. And then getting that ball of the nose rounded through here. And then the bridge of the nose will kind of round into that fold a little bit. So I didn't really change, I mean I changed, but I didn't really have to do much more than just enhance or refine what you already had there. So that ball of the nose maybe taper in a bit more. So I'm just using trim dynamic to kind of knock that angle down a bit. Just kind of refine what we have, getting kind of a little rounder, cuter nose. So for here, you can see how much more volume they're building up. So I'm going to use clay tubes, and wherever your fulcrum is, those are almost straight lines or planes off of where the nose is going to be. So if we look at the fulcrum, this is going to come out more straight to where your lip line is, and then that builds a plane back to where the smile line is going to be. I'm going to just re-Dynamesh that because I added a lot of clay to it. Let's bring that lip out a little further, get a little bit more volume to the lips. And again, I'm following this reference. If the reference you've been using is different, it's less kind of close to human proportions, then follow what you found. And then here we're going to bring out more for that lower lip, getting that volume. Again, just kind of following the reference here. They have a bit more split for where the chin is, and then the lip volume goes to the side of that chin. Right? So just following that reference. And we can go back through with trim dynamic and flatten out this plane a bit, see if we lose too much volume with the trim dynamic, we need, that's kind of where we were missing enough clay or detail to hold that shape or form. So then we would just have to go back through and add some. But you can see here how much more kind of detail we're getting. I'm just going to smooth through some of this. That kind of helps us to see what volumes we're missing as well. So right through here, that wasn't flat enough. So I'm going to add more clay, Dynamesh, and then we could go back through it. So there's really nothing different that we're doing each time. We're just relating it to our anatomy, coming back over here and sculpting the forms. But if you look at like your eyes and your ears, they're all very kind of soft and somewhat lacking in anatomical structure. If you want to keep with that anime style eyes, they're going to be a little bit bigger. So right now your sphere is not large enough to encompass what that eye would amount to around it. So I would go and select that eye by just alt-clicking on it. And then we could scale that up. Whoa. Okay, so maybe it was large enough. It just wasn't far enough forward. So let's kind of move it. And then we'll shape the eye socket around that. So I'm just pushing in here just to make kind of more of an eye socket, start getting where the corner of that eye is going to be. Right, you can see these planes right here, so that would be trim dynamic, and we can start getting where that eye socket is a bit more coming out. Right, so you can see how I'm just starting to define that eye socket a bit more than what we had. And then, depending if you want like angry eyes, sad eyes, happy eyes, you can use move topological, and you can see this is going to be more kind of concerned or worried eyes. So you can kind of move the eyebrow shape to coincide with what mood that character should be in, like default mood. Ears should be a little bit more down by the eyes and the nose. So just work on the shape of the face here. So yeah, just bringing out where that jawbone should be located, right towards the back of the ear. So keep going on the head. If you want to sit down and, you know, sculpt with me, or you can walk me through how you're sculpting like this, you should be making weekly videos so I know what you're thinking about, you know, when you're sculpting, when I'm looking at your stuff. it'll help me to kind of critique you more as well.